The B-B-EJaguars volleyball team tonight drove up to Royalton, a 1-hour drive one way, and defeated the host Royals in a 3-1 match, as you can read on the sports blog. And the game scores are on there too. The Royals did earn a 26-24 win in Game 2 to even the sets at 1 apiece. The Jaguars finished strong in Games 3 and 4 and basically kind of had the opposite, kind of turn the tables in terms of what they did a week prior in Maple Lake, where they struggled in Games 3 and 4 after splitting Games 1 and 2. So Jaguars maintain first place. Now they sit in what was a 3-way tie. Now it's a 2-way tie with Maple Lake at the top of the Central Minnesota Conference. The Jaguars had an outstanding night hitting 31% efficiency tonight. They missed only 10 attacks on 130 tries, so 120 for 130 on attacks with 50 kills. If you do the math on that, that comes out to 30.8% hitting efficiency. That's a very good number as a team. Teams that hit at that rate have a high chance of victory. At the service line, they only missed 7 serves out of 99 tries at the service line. That's 93% serving. Another great mark. 5 ace serves. They also had 4 solo blocks and 10 assisted blocks. So clearly used that to slow down the Royals' attack. Cadence Hyder had 8 kills with 57% hitting. Adley Hagen, 16 kills on 31% hitting. And Casey Fisher, 13 kills on 33% hitting. At the service line, I counted 3 Jaguars without an error. Kylie Weller, 16 for 16 with 1 ace. Cami Fisher, 17 out of 17 at the service line. She had 2 solo blocks for the sophomore hitter-setter. And Casey Fisher, 14 for 14 at the service line. She also had 16 digs, second best on the team. And our senior libero, Ava Dieters, 18 digs to thwart Royals' hitting front row line. Jaguars now 5-1 in the CMC. They need one more win, and they can sew up a share of the CMC title. Maple Lake concludes their regular season next Tuesday at against Kimball area. So if the Kimball Cubs are able to upset Maple Lake in that match, the Jaguars would win the title outright. If they can go to Paynesville and win, hope a lot of us can get down there to Paynesville next Tuesday to cheer on our Jaguars. It's going to be a big match. Paynesville's going to be, they have an quite outside shot at a share of the title. Actually, if Maple Lake loses to Kimball and the Jaguars lose to Paynesville and Royalton wins next week, there would be an unprecedented 4-way tie for first place with 4 teams finishing 5-2. But if the Jags can win and Maple Lake can win, they would win the title. They would share the title with 6-1 records. 2 years ago, Eden Valley shared with B-B-E, shared the CMC title. 4 years ago, in the COVID year, Maple Lake was CMC champions. The Jaguars have won the title outright in 2021. They won it outright last year. So they have won 3 straight conference titles, going for a 4-peat. The Jaguar tennis team finished up at the individual tennis tournament. They have their banquet next Monday night, where they will honor 5 seniors to the team. And we have to set our sights on more recruiting for the Jaguar tennis program for grades 7 through 12. To fill the ranks, they will graduate 4 out of their 10 starters. So that's a big fill. This year they ended up filling 3 open starting positions with 2 recruits on JV. Well, actually, two first-year players took varsity starting spots their first year playing tennis. That would be senior Bree T. Schaefer was number 2 singles. And my daughter, 8th grader Olive Olson, at number 3 doubles. So that's pretty unique. You have 2 varsity athletes on either end of it. Bree, a very experienced, very talented 3-sport athlete. She's been a 3-sport varsity athlete for the last 2 years with playing varsity on the varsity roster last year for volleyball and switching over to tennis this year. And then Olive, a brand new varsity player, and she will have earned her first career varsity letter of her career as an 8th grader. And football, let's talk football. The Long Prairie Grey Eagle Thunder will come to our house tomorrow night for week 7 of the regular season. The Thunder are 1-5. They're 1-5 overall. They won the season opener against Red Lake, and they have fallen on hard times again in the regular season. So the Jaguars need to come out determined and take care of business. They can't just take the team lightly. They have to give everything they got and come out with a win tomorrow night to stay on track. I don't know. I don't have Uppsala's last 2 games on the top of my head. We were kind of. I had an outside hope that Uppsala could be knocked off by KMS last week, but that was not the case. Uppsala lost 29-0, or Uppsala beat KMS 29-0 to stay in first place and remain undefeated on the regular season. Jaguars are 1 game out in second place, and Browerville 2 games out. Browerville 4-2, Jaguars 5-1 overall. Browerville 3-2 in the district. The Jaguars are 4-1 in the district. And we conclude our regular season next Wednesday in Murdoch against KMS. But first things first is tomorrow night, Parents' Night on Friday, to maintain that being in the top 2 spots of Section 4A. If they win tomorrow night, it would lock up a first round bye in the Section 4A playoffs. If they beat Long Prairie, they would be assured the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And finally, I want to give a shout out to Taylor Nelson, senior member of the Painesville B-B cross country team. I don't have his stats yet. I have to look them up in the Painesville Press, which I will. And their section meet, I believe, is in 2 weeks. And next week, I believe they run the conference meet in the West Central Conference. My ears are ringing right now because I reffed youth volleyball tonight at the elementary school. And it was quite a learning experience. And it gave me a profound new respect for anyone that refs any type of anything. It was a learning experience, a very enjoyable experience. We had 5th and 6th grade volleyball taking on New London Spicer, our neighbors to the south. Give credit to NLS. I saw extremely good sportsmanship out of everyone, parents, players, coaches. It was a real treat, and ultimately a quite easy night for my first chance at reffing. The Jaguar, so our team played 5th graders, and then they played the 6th graders. And the 6th graders were for NLS were a much more experienced unit, as we could tell when they came in. But our girls didn't back down. I was very impressed at the effort they gave, and they really gave them a run for their money. Had 2 close losses before they lost widely in the 3rd set against the 6th graders. And but my point on that is the NLS has a K-12 enrollment of 1,500. We have 600. Now, granted, yes, NLS has more sports. They have gymnastics in the fall. Or is that a winter sport? I'm drawing a blank there. But they have cross country, they have tennis, and volleyball. All 3 programs draw a lot of girls. They have a huge tennis program. So that splits up their talent base. But nevertheless, going up against a school almost 3 times our size, obviously they have a lot more base to draw on talent, but credit to our volleyball program. You have to really take a step back and truly appreciate all that goes into the B-B-E volleyball program, from the parents and the coaching side. There is a lot that goes into it, and just sit and marvel in what we have done for the last better part of 25 years to be a contender year in and year out. If you imagine, in the Central Minnesota Conference, we have been a contender for the title every year since 2000. 24 years. This is the 25th year. I mean, imagine. This is the 25th year in a row where we are going to finish. Only once since 2000 did we finish in 3rd place, and I believe that was in 2001. We were CMC champions in 2000, undefeated, 8-0. 2002, we shared the title with peers, and then we were undefeated, 8-0, 7-0 in 2003. We were, I think we shared the title in 2004. We were 2nd place in 2005, went to state for the first time that year in Class 2A. But we have been a contender for conference title every year since 2000. It's just incredible. But it's almost a year-round effort of parents and players and coaches to mold and develop these players to run our varsity team, because that's the goal, is what you got for a varsity team at such a high level. So credit to everyone in the program for doing this. My youngest daughter is really enjoyed volleyball, so I really hats off to everyone that has a part in that. She's now going into the endeavor of the 5th grade JO, and we were just signing her up this week for JO volleyball, and see how that goes. So week 7 tomorrow night. B-B Jaguars, Long Prairie Grey Eagle Thunder. Come out and support our kids. And also I'll end with asking you to say a word of prayer and lift up Carson Savage, who had a serious leg injury. Found out it was a full break in his leg as he was injured in near the end of last week's game in Browerville. But he will be able to make a full recovery, but it is a devastating loss from the football team. I hope to see him on crutches and cheering on our team from the sideline, but pray for a full recovery. And I don't know what his outlook is for basketball or baseball, but he is a super nice kid. He is a wonderful kid. I was demolished on the sidelines 6 nights ago, standing there watching the ambulance back up onto the field. It's the first time in my career as a reporter to watch a player from either team be taken off the field in an ambulance, something I have never seen. But thank God it wasn't anything neurological or a head damage or anything like that. We have to be thankful for that. It was a broken leg. Obviously not a good thing to experience, but it certainly could have been worse. So pray for our team, pray for their safety, and we'll see you cheering on our Jaguars.